Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of our podcast with Bree and Sean. Today we have Today we have a very special guest. So please join me in welcoming, drumroll please, Saisha.
Hey!
Do you want to
Oh my god.
do a brief introduction?
Thank you. Yeah, sure. I'm Saisha, as Bree said. I guess you could say I'm a movie buff, or is it buff? I don't remember.
Connoisseur?
Movie buff or buff. I watch quite a lot of TV shows because I have nothing better to do with my time. I think that's why Bree and Shar asked me to be here, so yeah.
Yeah, so if you haven't caught on already, today's topic will be all about movies and films and TV shows because I have watched probably 5 films in my entire lifespan, and they are not agreeing with that. So
No, that's such a, how do you even do that? I don't know, what about on weekends? Did you not, have, movie nights or something?
I
No.
sleep.
Oh my god.
I sleep for 48 hours.
I mean, everyone does.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
true.
a lot. Do you not eat? Anyway, so I thought it would only be right to start off by addressing our opinions on each movie genre.
I can go first, I guess.
Ooh.
I'll do mystery first.
Mystery.
I love mystery movies. Suspense type movies. Because they're, so engaging, sometimes comedy or, drama, they're not that engaging. Well, no, maybe drama is a little more engaging, but, stuff like comedy, it's just kind of, you're watching it, you're laughing along, but, with mystery and suspense, it sort of brings you in, it makes you wonder what's going to happen next. So I think that's probably one of why I love mystery so much.
I'm not a great fan of mystery movies because, it requires my attention and I need to focus all the time. And it makes me tired. Oh my gosh. No.
Charlotte
that's
likes the
true.
genres where she can just lie on her bed and just sleep
Yeah.
and then call
Yeah,
herself
just-
watching a movie when she's actually just sleeping.
Yeah, or, just scrolling through Instagram while watching a movie.
Why do you know me so well?
I think mystery movies, they're quite good. I think I mean, are we surprised I haven't watched a mystery movie before? But I know a lot of people who have mystery as their favorite genre, so I've heard of a lot of mystery movies, and they sound super intriguing. It's in general a genre that requires a huge attention span, and I just don't have that attention span. So I think it's a really cool genre, but probably not my favorite.
I respect everyone who could sit through, a whole suspense movie. Respect.
Yeah, that's true. But once you get into it, you get into it. You know what I mean? You just really start to immerse yourself. But yeah, it's true. Mystery does take a lot of brain power.
Too much. My non-existent brain power. Okay, the next genre I just thought of was comedy.
I love comedies.
I mean, who doesn't love a good laugh?
Yeah,
though?
who doesn't like a comedy? I think that's.
But to be honest, in my opinion, a lot of comedy TV shows or films, if you can make me laugh, then hats off to you, because a lot of them actually can't. And I'm a very humorous person. I think you two can agree, kind of.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
are.
Okay. There, Charlotte's just meh.
No,
Not
that's
really.
just my, usual face. That's not Bree's problem. That's my
Oh,
problem.
oh. RBF.
I feel like the problem with most comedy shows is that they try too hard to build up jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just
Yeah,
makes
that's
you
true.
cringe, I guess.
And also overacting. I see a lot of overacting in comedy shows, and it makes it so much more unfunny.
Mm-hmm.
You just you laugh at how bad it is. That's the only comedy part of it.
I think that's their goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just make jokes so punny that everyone will laugh at how cringe you are.
Yeah.
Charlotte, go ahead and name a genre.
Musicals.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. I don't like musicals.
Oh, tell us all the beef you have with musicals.
Should I? Okay. I feel like musicals just have way too many songs. Every 5 minutes they're singing about something. It could be like I'm waking up and they'll sing a whole 5-minute song about it. Then in 5 minutes they'll sing a whole song about eating eggs or something. I don't know, you know? It's just really random and it's so unnecessary. And I see like a lot of the time they compare it with like Bollywood movies, but it's nothing like that. At least Bollywood movies, they have like maybe 5 songs in it at the most, and that too, it's like sort of time appropriate. But with musicals, it's just all the time. It's like, stop singing, you know? But I don't know, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't it in the name? Like, it's just, I don't think you can even consider it a movie at this point. It's just, a musical is just its own
Thing.
separate
It's like
thing.
20
Yeah, that's
music
true.
videos
You know?
batched together, and then a lame
Yeah.
storyline.
Yeah.
It's a movie wannabe with an extended soundtrack. That's all it is. Okay, what about romance?
I like
Mm,
romance.
same.
It's fun. It's set high standards funny though, but it's fun.
Just no comments. No comments.
comments.
Just, I like romance.
Yeah.
Next. Let's move on. I don't think we're in a big romance phase. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. What about horror?
I
I hate
love
No,
horror movies.
I'm not. Oh my gosh, guys. I had a couple of friends who forced me to watch The Shining at like 9 p.m. And you know who you are, but if you're watching this, I will get you back. I like couldn't sleep for a week after that.
Oh my god.
And I think during the middle of it, I just got so freaked out that they made me go in the other room and blast music all by myself. And I think I ripped out my eardrums that day.
Oh my god.
But I mean, it was, I needed a cleansing.
Yeah.
What are you guys' experience?
I mean, The Shining was kind of bad compared to the book. So people, if you want to watch The Shining, go read the book. It's so much better.
Great advice for a non-horror fan like me.
What other genres are there? Why can't I think of anything?
There's like drama.
Drama. Oh my gosh. How could we forget drama?
I mean, it still
Oh.
depends on what
I
kind
mean-
of drama, right?
Yeah, I mean they're all kind
Yeah.
of like, yeah, because there's like dramedy, there's dark drama, there's light drama, there's medium drama.
Oh wait, guys, what do you think of like crime films?
I love crime films. They're actually so good.
But like, what genre does that fit in again?
That's like
Mystery, I guess.
mystery.
Yeah, comedy, mystery. I think it's actually its own
Mm-hmm.
thing, or like caper movies, you know.
Oh, what about sci-fi?
Oh, those are actually pretty cool as well.
Sci-fi. I think sci-fi would be like one of my top couple of genres.
I mean, I love Christopher Nolan.
I don't
but
know.
I just don't vibe with Martians and stuff, if that makes sense.
Oh, and I think the last of the few would be action movies.
I like action
Same.
movies. The action is fun
We're
to
being
watch.
we're being so dry. It's just like, okay, here's a genre. I like action movies. Yeah, I like
mean,
it.
it's
Let's move
cool.
on. I think the viewers are kind of done with
Yeah.
us. Okay. Let's move on to something juicy. So Saisha here has prepared a whole list of vibes for us to feast
Oh
on.
god.
And I don't think I'm going to be very involved in this conversation because I looked over it briefly and I don't think I've watched a single movie on it.
It's okay. It's okay. These are like sort of
So Charlotte and Saisha, please take over.
okay. Charlotte, do you want to go first, or should I like introduce my
Yeah,
list?
sure. You could introduce your list.
Okay, so right in front of me, I have a few categories. So I have like a TV shows list. In that, I have shows to roast, good shows, and then love/hate shows. So I'll start with the TV shows. So the shows that I'm gonna roast today will be The Office, Riverdale, and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay, let's start. So The Office. This is sort of like I know a lot of people love The Office. I know a lot of people hate The Office. I'd say I'm probably leaning towards more hate, but then I also kind of see why people like it. But to be honest, it's just I don't get it. And I know Charlie, you feel the same way, right? Because like it's really confusing sometimes. Like the jokes are so stale sometimes, and the constant like looking at the camera, like I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. What about you?
Yeah, I asked a friend, I said, oh, I'm kind of out of TV shows, please recommend some. And he recommended Brooklyn 99 and The Office. I watched like 5 minutes of The Office and I decided I just couldn't stand it. Because I don't get a single joke. Because like Saisha could still say like, the jokes are kind of stale. Well, I'm just like, jokes? What jokes? How come I don't see any jokes? And then it's just so boring for me, and then I quit. I'm sorry, all Office fans. I'm sorry.
I know, because like, there's so many diehards.
There must be a lot of them.
There's so many.
There is a lot
Yeah,
of them.
there's so
I
many
can tell
out
you
there.
that.
And then if you tell them that you don't like The Office, they get so mad. And it's like, what? It's not good. And like, I don't know, what was that? I was going to say something else. I forget. Yeah, I don't remember what I was going to say. But I think The Office, it's like one of those, I don't know, it's kind of like dad jokes, but even worse. The whole script is dad jokes, but even worse. So I don't think it's...
Grandpa
Oh,
jokes?
yeah, grandpa... Oh, that's a good one. Grandpa jokes. There are a bunch of grandpa jokes.
Too young
Yeah.
for this. Don't roast me in the comments. Please don't dislike the video. Please go and drop a like on the video.
Yep.
But yeah, please continue.
Okay, let's go to the next one that I'm gonna roast. Riverdale. Okay, now here's the thing. While I was reading through the list, I realized I don't exactly hate Riverdale because I was watching the first season with my dad and it was kind of intriguing at points. But it's really hard because it's a bunch of adults who are supposed to be playing teenagers doing these really, really weird things that teenagers wouldn't even do, you know? Like, I don't know, it's just so unrealistic. Like, they're always off solving this murder mystery. Like, what about, like now that I'm in high school, how are you not studying? I'm sure you have, like, 5 tests next week. Like, how are you not busy already? But, I don't know, I think Riverdale is completely unrealistic, and that's why it's so enjoyable. But what about you guys? What do you guys think?
I was actually really interested in Riverdale at one point because I'm a Cole Sprouse fan and
Evil laugh.
and then like I saw all those roasting videos on YouTube and then I just sort of backed up because no, this is not worth investing time.
True.
What about you, Brie?
Okay.
Do you really expect me to say something, Charlotte? All I know is in elementary school, this was a long time ago, but I had a friend who literally invested her life savings into that show, and she was literally so obsessed with it. I don't think she could even concentrate in school. She was just like always thinking about it, and I was like, okay. And then we did Secret Santa at one point, and then all she would ever get is just Riverdale merch. It was really sad. I was like, girl, do something better with your life,
Oh
okay?
god, that's so... Oh my god.
But yeah, that's my involvement. Is that a word? Involvedness.
Involvement.
Oh,
Involvement.
involvement. We love
Yep.
English. But yeah. that's
Okay,
me.
and I'll just do a quick roast on this next one. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, I feel like a lot of people have sort of heard of Real Housewives, but they don't really know what it is. So I'll just sum it up. It's a bunch of rich housewives, and they live in Beverly Hills. And there are a bunch of franchises, like there's some in Atlanta, there's one in Orange County, there's one in Salt Lake City, and anyways, so that's basically what it is. Now, I remember, I think I was like in grade 7 or 6 when my parents were watching Real Housewives and I just joined in and watched. It was so intriguing because the drama was so good. Like, they would fight over the smallest things, but it would be so entertaining. Like, wait, do you know that meme where that woman is like shouting and crying and then there's a cat on the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah, that meme comes
Yeah.
from that show because actually it's really sad backstory because the woman was being abused and by her husband. Anyways, ex-husband. Yeah, it was a really sad backstory. But yeah, so it was like really interesting in the first few seasons because they were always fighting. They always were like, "Oh, but our friendship is true." And you could tell they hated each other, but it was okay because it's so entertaining.
I don't know why. Sorry,
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
just interrupt you for a second? I won't have much to say after this, but why does this show, is it a show or a
Yeah,
movie?
it's a reality TV show.
Yeah, it reminds me of the K show.
The K show?
I'm using a code
I'm just
name
gonna
so I don't
say it
offend
because I
anyone.
hate them Kardashians.
I'm gonna bleep that out because I think we'd probably get
I don't
roasted
care.
for
They're
that.
No,
just mindless.
Yeah, they're trashy. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, well, if you guys are going to roast in the comments, don't roast me, okay? I
Bring
tried to
it
stop
on
that,
me.
but they aren't stoppable.
Bring all you have. Okay. But yeah, basically it was good for the first few seasons, but then it just became so repetitive. They go on a trip, they fight, they make up, they fight, and they dress up and they fight and they make up. Like it was just such a pattern that it got boring. Because I tried to watch the newest season, which is even more interesting because one of the women who got married to like a 80-year-old is now getting divorced, even though she was always like, "Oh, I'm not a gold digger," but everyone could tell she was a gold digger. Anyways, I tried to watch the season, but it was so bad, so I just skipped it. But yeah, that's my roast for TV shows.
I feel like it's heavily
Oh my
scripted. Because
It a lot of the stuff is, but a lot of it also isn't. But yeah.
Oh, the drama.
Yep.
All right, what's next on
Okay.
the list?
I think I'll move on to good shows just quickly, and then maybe I can touch on like my love hate shows, and then we'll go to movies.
Yeah, the good shows definitely maybe could be like recommendations for me.
Yeah.
and
Okay. So
Charlotte.
now I'll recommend some shows because I don't know, these are my favorite. I think Charlotte, you've watched you've watched two I think on this list, but yeah. Okay, so first up, Modern Family.
Ooh.
Absolute classic.
Classic.
Me and Charlotte are fans. Big fans. I've watched every single season. I started, I think, in quarantine, and it's the best show ever. However, there is quite a lot of racism. Quite a lot of racist, like I don't know how to explain it. They're constantly making jokes about this one person's like country because it's a Central American country, I
South
think.
American.
Yeah, South American. Yeah. She's from Colombia, I think. Yeah, she's from Colombia. But they constantly make jokes about like drug lords and stuff, and like, oh, but you like grew up in revolutions. How can you not do this, that? There's just a lot of those jokes, and it gets tiring at one point because you can clearly tell. I think even the actress at one point probably got tired of it, but that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good show despite that. I don't know. I'm sort of like I guess that's kind of a love-hate thing, but yeah. Okay, second recommendation, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. A really good show. I know, Charlotte, you watched I think a little bit of it, right?
Yeah, I watched like 4 or 5 episodes of the first season.
Yeah, but it's really funny. Even my dad likes it, and he's like a hard critique of shows. So that's quite like surprising, but yeah, it's a pretty funny show. So yeah, second is also comedy. Not second, third. It's called The Good Place. It's really good. It's about like
I mean,
people in
you
heaven.
definitely could call it The Good Place. It's good. Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh
Maybe
god.
I should just cut that out.
Yeah, maybe you should just
Sasha's just melting away. In
I
her
am. Oh god. Okay. And yeah, so it's just basically about these people who go to heaven. There's like a good place and a bad place. I won't spoil it, so I'll just move on to the next one. Okay, this is actually one of my favorites, The Crown. It is about the British royal family. I think it's, yeah, so the first season starts from when Queen Elizabeth takes the reign. And then the last season was on Princess Diana. And so that was really, really good. I absolutely loved the entire show. And like the episodes are so long. They're not a lot of episodes, but they're really long. So it's like practically watching a whole movie if like in like 2 episodes. But yeah, I think that one's definitely one of my favorites. Even my parents like it. Like I said, my parents are hard critiques of TV shows. So that means it's probably okay. Okay, this one is also a recommendation. I just started watching it. It's called Vincenzo. It's a K-drama. It is so good. It's so good.
Sorry.
Everybody go watch K-drama. It's like the sweetest thing on earth.
And we'll make a part 2 on only K-dramas if it's requested in the comments. So go comment. Also, I realized we're not really talking about movies anymore, so this just turned into a TV show episode, but that is totally fine with me. I won't be involved nonetheless.
I mean, K-dramas just make your standards so high, it's almost, like, unreachable.
They really do.
Charlotte?
Yes, get me a rich and handsome Korean guy, like, ASAP right now.
I know. They're all about, like, rich Korean guys meeting, like, not so rich women, and then, like, she's always, like, tough, and he's like, I don't like you.
Overdone. Yeah. But still,
it's the same.
Made Char's standards skyrocket.
It's the same
Okay,
thing.
sorry, please continue. That was unnecessary.
No, it's okay. It's so true, though. It's like the same storyline, but in different fonts. Italic, bold, Calibri, Times New Roman, you know? But anyways, so yeah, that's TV show recommendations. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to love/hate ones. Also could be known as controversial, but we'll see about that. First up on the list, Gilmore Girls. I started this show in quarantine at this the first lockdown. I liked it. I binge watched every single season, but it started to get really hypocritical because the main character, Rory, she's always critiquing rich people and oh, but rich people always get this, rich people always get that, even though she
reminds me of Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, oh my god, I hated that book, but that's a whole different conversation.
Charlotte!
What
do you have to say to that?
Wait, are you a fan of it?
Yeah, I love the book. But anyways, continue on to Gilmore Girls.
Okay, sure. We will have a conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gilmore. But Rory, she's always critiquing rich people for having all these opportunities, even though she fails to acknowledge that the school she goes to, which is a private school, and she goes to Yale, that's all because of her grandparents' money. So you can't really complain about rich people when you are a rich person, even though your mom ran away, and even though you live in a pretty small house in a old town. It doesn't mean that you aren't privileged because you have all these things. You go to university and it's all funded by your grandparents. So it got really hypocritical, and at some points pretty boring as well, to see Rory go through the same thing, and to see Lorelai, I don't know, just it started to get worse to the end, so I just stopped it. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. Second one, a lot of people haven't watched this show. It's a Netflix reality TV show. Usually Netflix originals are really not that good. This one also is part of that. It's not really good, but it's interesting. I like it because it's like a TV show version of Crazy Rich Asians, which I love that movie.
Oh, yes.
Such a good. Oh, I should have added that into okay, I had that movies list, but I think.
Okay, we're definitely making a part 2
yes,
of movies.
me too.
With Saisha.
Because this is not enough. I have so many recommendations. Anyways, so it's basically like a Crazy Rich Asians, but TV shows. I think it's really, really good. But at times it's just kind of I think it's sort of good Asian representation, because I find that Asian representation in mainstream media is it's stereotypical, you know. Even with a lot of people praised Fresh Off the Boat for Asian representation, but I found that it just kept on what's the thing? perpetrating those same stereotypes of Asians being cheap or Asians doing this or like Asians being smart. Like, please if you look at my math grade, you'll know what. It is anything but that. So I don't know, it's just
Charlotte's math grade can speak for itself. Anyway, what's next?
but yeah, I just feel like sometimes Bling Empire perpetrated stereotypes. I forget the word. But yeah, I don't know actually why I really put that there. Anyways, next one. The Circle. So this is also another Netflix original reality TV show. It's a long, long title. But it was like, so I watched the first season, which was pretty good. I think it got a little boring, but I think what really annoyed me about the show was the use of hashtags. They use hashtags in every single conversation. It'll be like, hey girl boss, how are you doing? Just wanted to check in after blah 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 blah. And it'll be like, hey bro dude, how is it's just so bad. It's like, it's so weird and cringy, but anyways, yeah. And then I also saw like that they brought in people from other Netflix original shows, and then yeah, it just, I didn't really find it that good.
Chaotic, huh?
It was very chaotic, and yeah, so both seasons, I think they try to have like certain personalities, like from what I can tell, they have the person of color, and they have the gay, they have the bubbly girl, they have the jacked dude. You know, it's just like so typical that you just gotta, it's just so annoying. But yeah, that's that. Okay, this one I'm actually so scared to say. Schitt's Creek. I tried to make myself love it. Like, I tried to make myself love The Office. I tried to make myself love Schitt's Creek. But it's just, it's kind of unfunny. I don't know, like, it's just, it's a little much, I feel. Like,
Not comedic at
yeah,
all.
I feel like it's one of those prime examples of like overacting, or like comedy shows trying to be too funny, or like trying too hard. I don't know, I just didn't find it that good. Like, I think there was definitely a period where I binged watched it because I had nothing better to do, and at some points it was interesting, but I think overall consensus, is that the word? Yeah, is that I just, like, it's just one of those examples of shows being, like, comedy shows being too dramatic or trying to be funny and that type of stuff. Yeah, I think that's it for TV shows.
That's it for TV shows. Wow, that was a lot of information to take in.
It was.
And I don't know, I might get convinced to check out some of those.
Modern
but
Family.
we'll see.
Yes, please do.
Okay, I'm not getting peer pressured whatsoever. But yeah, so definitely stay tuned for a part 2 on K-dramas.
Movies.
And oh my gosh, should we do like
Oh
a
my gosh,
series?
yes.
Yes, on like
That would be very
On,
fun.
like,
And
oh
Saisha's like the star of the whole series. Oh my gosh. Okay, stay tuned for the whole series, and we'll definitely have more movie episodes coming up, because we promised that for you, but we didn't pop off. Not pop off. What am I
we
saying?
didn't deliver.
Yes. We did not deliver. But yeah, that will be it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, listening.
We'll see you next Saturday. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.
Yep. All that.
Bye.
Bye.